All right, follow-up video. Isn't that fucked up? It's true though, it's undeniably true. Like if you're gonna get through to anyone in regards to this topic of getting people to take the act of creating people, of reproduction more seriously, that's the way you're gonna do it. It's not going to be like, these are all the ways in which your child will have to suffer. These are all, all these ways in which your child will have to endure lots of just unnecessary struggle, and you are going to be imposing that. So you should really take this more seriously. You should be more careful with who you fuck around with and who you have a child with. It doesn't really mean anything. It's not going to, people aren't going to, it's either just not going to register or they're not going to care if it crosses their minds at all. If they think it's even a possibility, it's just not, it's not really in the realm of concern. So if you're going to get through to anyone in terms of getting people to take this thing more seriously, this creating people thing, that's the way you're going to do it. Just trying to get people to think more deeply about how these actions will impact your life and potentially ruin your life quite easily, and all the ways in which this could happen, very easily happen. And then, people's ears perk up, and it's like, oh, wait, me? It's gonna ruin my life? Why didn't you say so? I don't give a fuck about, my prospective, my future child's well-being. But me? Okay, now we're talking. So just attempting to convey all the ways in which this has great potential to just tear their life to shreds. And it really does. It's also just the truth. And yeah, we're very egocentric beings. That's what we're going to be primarily concerned about. How certain behaviors will impact our own lives. It's just, people don't really give a shit about their future children's lives, insofar as they even think about it. So attempting to convey that, like, there are just so many ways in which there's a good chance your partner is a piece of shit. You don't really know them all that well. You think you're in love. You're not in love. Your brain is, fucking you over. Again, your biology is attempting to get you to do some really dumb shit that you're going to regret for years and years to come. If anything's going to work, it's going to be that. That's going to, and it's sad, the fact that, again, like, if you tell people, your child will have to endure this, will have to go through that. If you guys split up and it doesn't really work out, and there's a good chance that that's going to happen, and that doesn't, again, it just doesn't really register. But if you tell them, for example, like with the man, like child support, you're going to have to pay lots of fucking money over a long period of time, and there's a good chance that your ex, like many people, are really fucking dumb. They're really stupid with money, and they're just going to spend it on bullshit. So you might as well just be, so the money isn't even going to go, like much of it isn't even going to go towards your child's, sustaining your child's existence. It's just going to be spent on nonsense. So you might as well just be burning your money, but it's worse because you're likely going to be giving it away to someone that you now hate. So it'd be better to just be burning that money. If you try to convey things like that, and that's a very common outcome, that's going to get through to people because it affects them, their own lives. People just don't give a shit about their own child's future quality of life. It doesn't even cross their minds. It's not something many people think about. But those are things that people think about. Lots of money over time being sent to someone that they hate for years. And you can try and dodge that, but that's not a good long-term plan. Oftentimes it ends badly. Yeah, that's one that helps. And then like on the with women, there's a good chance that, if you're fucking around with this guy and you have a child with someone that you really don't know all that well, again, many people do, there's a good chance he's not going to be there for the child, and he's not going to be a father, and your child's going to suffer. Well, again, they don't care about the consequences that'll be incurred, but this will impact your life. It'll come back to you, because your child, many parents look at their children as a sort of form of investment, and this investment will end up you got to be careful with who you go into this investment with, because that'll have a gigantic impact on what kind of rewards it will yield in the long term, right? So many people have a child with someone that sucks, and that's a horrible investment. And you see, that helps. You're attempting to, because that makes more sense for people, referring to their offspring as a form of investment. So if you're going to go into this investment with another party, you got to be careful with what kind of a person that is, so that the investment doesn't end up just completely going to shit and ruining you financially and emotionally, and just picking your life apart piece by piece, as it so often happens.